Meditation and Spiritual Life, Swami Yatishwarananda. Ignorance and its conquest. What prevents us from developing this divine eye forthwith? Now, divine eye is in quotes. I can see the material, but that which is beyond the material, what can see? That which is beyond this body and mind, what can see and experience? Definitely something beyond mind, which is my real self, cannot be experienced or seen. So the word divine, I in quotes, is a indicative term. It's not the actual. You can't see the self, the pure consciousness. What prevents us from developing this divine eye is again indicative. What does it indicate? It indicates a journey beyond the body and mind complex. Now, what prevents us from going forward? Vedantic teachers say it is ignorance. So, what am I ignorant about? Patanjali also speaks about ignorance as that which clouds the vision of Purusha, the self. So, can I actually see the Purusha? No. Cannot be seen, cannot be touched, cannot be experienced, because it is beyond body which sees, beyond mind which experiences. But something is clouding that vision. What is stopping me? It is the ignorance. So ignorance, what it does, it clouds. But what is this ignorance? Let's see. In the Yoga Sutra, we read ignorance is taking the non-eternal, impure, the painful, taking this, and the non-self for the eternal. The pure, the happy, and the Atman or self, respectively. And so, what it means is, ignorance is taking the non-eternal, the impure, the painful. So all these things which is jada, not the Chaitanya, to be. So what is the sutra? 2.5. We have to see. So what is the jada, if I consider it as Atman or self? So that is ignorance. So under the intoxication of ignorance, truth becomes worse than fiction. There is the story of a drunkard who was seen frantically climbing a lamp post, shouting all the while. The police naturally caught him and dragged him to the magistrate, who asked him, "What is the matter with you?" The man replied, "What could I do, sir? I was pursued by 3 crocodiles. I had to save myself by climbing the lamp post." Crocodiles on the road of a city. And yet, that was what he saw under the influence of drink. Under the influence of ignorance, we too see many things which do not have ultimate reality. How to overcome this ignorance and attain superconscious realization is the next question. So, ignorance is it's like getting intoxicated and seeing something which is not real to be true. So it is like in semi darkness, twilight, we see a coil of rope and feel it's a snake sitting coiled up. So all the emotions of fear and urgency emerges in my mind while it is just a rope. So this ignorance makes me do all these things. So the next question is how to overcome the ignorance and attain superconscious. So we have to go beyond the conscious plane and go reach the superconscious. Ignorance is not known as such. We can't know that, oh, I'm ignorant. I constantly feel I'm this body, I'm this mind, I'm this person, I have these talents, I have these weaknesses. Yeah. So I am this much year old, I have lived this much, and so many things. I'm aware of it. Ignorance is not known as such. So I'm not uh, constantly aware that I am ignorant. So it is so deceptive. Constantly I'm feeling right now, and every time that I, uh, I, I am fine. I am ignorant that I am not even aware. It manifests itself in various ways. First of all comes egotism. Things which I am good at, I feel egoistic. This eclipses the real self because egotism causes lots and lots of attachment. So it eclipses my real self, means I am bound to this body and mind. I don't want to leave it and go beyond. Then comes desire or attachment. I want to put more fuel to the fire of egoism so that I feel more and more stronger in my egotistical mm, ways. When these are checked or thwarted, somebody uh, tries to tamper my ego, my desires, they give rise to anger and fear. Anger, if I feel more powerful than the other. Fear, if I see the the person in front is more powerful. Man is bound to the world by ignorance, egotism, and the instincts. I don't want to leave my body, mind, and its world. Modern psychologists speak of complexes. According to one classification, there are three types of complexes: the sex complex, the ego complex, and the herd complex. Spiritual life does not even begin unless one learns to go beyond the hold of these complexes. This is very clear that body and mind, it's a complex. I feel attached to this body and mind. Very simple. Now mind is being classified into sex complex, ego complex, and herd complex. So yeah, until and unless I understand what these complexes are and how they are mm, tying me down, spiritual life cannot even begin. This is the meaning of spiritual struggle. It is not possible to overcome the hold of instincts in a day. We are our own obstacles. External obstacles are nothing compared to those we create within. Our whole personality, bundle of habits, complexes, must be overhauled. How to do this? Here, the mystics of the world religions have discovered for us several paths. Now, the path of mystics. A mystic is one who has the direct intuitive experience of the ultimate reality. Now, intuition is again, see, all these words are indirect words. Intuition is of the mind. Uh, my past experiences, memories, refined becomes intuition. Experiences of the mind. So, mystic is one who has the direct experience, direct intuitive experience of the ultimate reality. You see, actually, reality cannot be experienced. So, these words, direct, intuitive, it's trying to tell uh, that ultimate reality beyond body and mind cannot be experienced in the literal sense of the word. Whether it is called God or the self. Now, obviously, something beyond body and mind, language also does not reach. So, the words God, self are all indicative. In Sanskrit, we call him a rishi, the seer. Every great religion in the world has produced numerous mystics, but all religions have not recognized their greatness. That is because in some of the religions like Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, the main emphasis is on faith and morality as the means for salvation. The followers of these religions are expected to have absolute faith in the prophets who founded their religions. Each religion claims the superiority of its own founding prophet, and all those who do not accept this will be denied salvation, which means they have to go to hell. In spite of such ideas, these religions have produced outstanding saints who have direct experience of God. Please, here we must understand that experience, this direct experience of God, um, is not in the mental plane, is beyond the mind. So, until and unless it can be, until and unless we experience, we cannot tell, we can't explain. Examples, we saw a salt doll went to measure the depth of the ocean. Who can come back and express because it has merged? Only if you drink milk you can know what it means. A person who has not drunk or milk or seen milk, if I go on explaining the qualities of milk, it is only indirect and it will actually have no much sense. I can say milk is white, it is like water. It doesn't make sense. A person has to have a direct experience. So, here, direct experience of God. In spite of such ideas, the religions have produced outstanding saints who have direct experience of God. Mysticism has never been recognized as a valid and necessary part of Christianity and Islam. Many Christian mystics had to face persecution by the church. In the 17th century, the so called Quietist movement was put down with an iron hand. During the 18th and 19th centuries, anti mystical movements within and without the church were so strong that Christianity had all but forgotten its great mystical traditions by the beginning of the present century. The mystic movement in Islam is also called Sufism. In spite of the resistance of the Orthodox and the violence of fanatics, which caused the death or persecution of a number of earnest seekers of God, Islam too has produced an astonishingly large number of mystics, some of whom attained to the pinnacles of spiritual experience. It is only when we come to India, and especially Hinduism, that we find religious freedom and mystical luxuriance. According to Hinduism, direct intuitive experience of the Supreme Spirit is essential for one's salvation. Salvation in Hinduism means total freedom from sorrow and ignorance. As long as a man has not attained the highest freedom called mukti or liberation, he has to be born and again and experience the bitter sweet fruits of life. It is in Hinduism that the paths of spiritual perfection were studied in depth and made into a science. Hinduism opens four main paths for the attainment of higher, direct, intuitive experience. These are called yogas. We shall discuss these briefly one by one. So, the four main paths, one is karma, then jnana, then bhakti, and then is yoga.